Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Hello and welcome back to another week here at Herb Oracle with another herb of the week, our 29th herb to be exact. And our herb of the week is Rosemary. Oh my gosh, you guys. I feel like we're going to be graced with her presence so much. And yet at the same time, I also feel like she's going to be like an herb with that energy like I've always been with you. Now, I'm pretty sure that I did a nerdy podcast over at Herbal Marie, You Know Rosemary. Almost positive I did. So if you want to go check that out, I think it's there. I'm almost positive that there is a You Know Rosemary over at Herbal Marie. But this week, we will get a little and we'll also get into the oracle messages, divination, all types of beautiful stuff. We're going to manifest more memory this Wednesday. That's our manifest more topic. But we're apparently, as I'm looking at these cards, we are not going to wait until Wednesday to do that. Even this morning, I was doing a morning show called The Morning Hack. It's on my YouTube channel. And I was just talking about some mudras, and one of the mudras I noticed was for memory. So I screenshot it, and I was like, well, we'll have to talk about that Wednesday. It's basically just putting all your fingertips together. Your palms are separated, but just putting all your fingers, you know, with their mirror count, thumbs on thumbs, pinkies on pinkies, put all your fingers on each other, just like that. You've probably done this all the time, but that's a mudra to help with memory. So I don't know if we're going to have many cards on Wednesday. We might just have one card because I can't think of any, if I have memory. Like, there's lots of remembering and things like that. So I don't know. And a lot of them are already here with us today. So I'll have to see what I come up with for Wednesday. If not, we'll just have another one card week, which is fine by me. I mean, it don't matter to me either way. We cover what we need to cover with or without cards. So the messages, they're going to find us whether we have a piece of paper in our hands or not. That's what you need to understand in your life too. As Rosemary comes in with our first message of clarity, you know, it's like your messages that you ask for can come in many different ways. You are the oracle. You are the receiver. You are the one having this experience. And whether or not you can afford a new oracle deck, or you think you have divination tools or not, you actually are the tool. So that's the one cool thing about your mind and being able to use it for what it was intended for. You can receive some really awesome messages, some clarifying messages. You can get really clear in your thinking and remembering things. And I mean, you know, it's so nice to just be on the ball and remember what you need to, and then you just get it all done. So on that note, real quick, I just want to shout out to the listeners who signed up and clicked the button that said listener support and are pledging me a little something every month. I wanted to remember to say thank you because I appreciate your support so much. I enjoy entertaining you, and I also enjoy receiving your gift. So whether you were the 99-cent, the $4.99, or the $9.99, oh, I see you, honey. Thank you so much. I mean, if everybody did 99, I'd be like good to go. So anyways, thanks for being my listener support. Thanks for listening in. We're going to have a great show today. I'm a little bit revved up because I've already done 2 other recordings this morning. So I hope that's cool. I got out my rosemary essential oil. I sniffed it. Smells so good. I put a little bit on my hairline where I would like to grow some hair. Like, I have a wonky hairline. Like, it's not symmetrical at all. And it never has been. But now that I'm getting older, I'm like, is it getting thinner there? You know? So, like, I put a little bit there. I put a little bit on my adrenal glands, which is on my lower back. I put a little bit on the ugly mole that grows on my lower back. And then I rub some in my hair. So that's what I did with my essential oil of rosemary. It is so awakened. It's just so powerful. It's very medicinal, you know. It's almost, I mean, you would think like it would smell like roses. It does not. Rosemary to me almost smells more like eucalyptus than roses. You know what I mean? But it's a pretty powerful oil. It's actually, yeah, I definitely did do the nerdy podcast because now I'm remembering the disclaimer. Disclaim at the wazoo. I totally remember now telling people that if they would eat a whole plate full of rosemary, it would kill them. So she is very powerful. So a little bit goes a long way. So rosemary comes in, and I got a stack of cards, and I shuffled them so they're in whatever order they want to be in. Rosemary comes in with a message of clarity from the Soulflower deck by Lisa Estabrook. And Rosemary asks you, who are you really? She ain't even gonna like say hello. Who are you really? Who are you really? Rosemary infuses the body with warmth and vitality, bringing security and clarity to the spirit, especially when it has lost connection with the physical world. Rosemary helps you feel fully embodied and grounded so that you are better able to remember who you are. So that you are better able. Should it be to remember who you are? Sorry for always finding potential typos. Rosemary helps you feel fully embodied and grounded so that you are better able to remember who you truly are. I think we forgot the word to. Better able to remember who you truly are. All right, moving on. Like I said, if you write a book and you need me to read it, I'll find your mistakes. Yeah, who the hell are you? Who are you really? Okay, so this is great because, like, you know what I did yesterday? I read a whole book. I'll tell you that. I read a whole book yesterday, Love and Power. I think I started it Saturday evening, so I finished a book. Love and Power by Lynn V. Andrews. It was awesome. And then, you know what I did after? I just sat there. I sat on the porch all evening, all afternoon, all evening. Way longer after I was done reading the book. I just continued to sit there. And it's like, who are we really? And, you know, like, we can start to define ourselves by, like, what we do. And this was in the book, so this is how I know to say this. You know, like, I could come off, who am I? Oh, I'm a podcaster. I'm an herbalist. But actually, that is not who I really am. I am a spirit, an essence. I am a feminine energy. I'm a lady girl who happens to podcast and is into herbs. Do you know what I mean? It's not to say I am an herbalist. Well, what if all of a sudden I'm not interested in herbs and I don't want to talk about them anymore? Now who am I? I am a podcaster. All right, well, what if a crazy lion eats my throat out? I mean, I survive, but I can't talk anymore. Whoops. Okay, who am I now if I have no voice to make a podcast, right? So that's very dangerous to put these labels on us that are very conditional, you know? Even something beautiful like I am a mother. Well, what if someday, like, my children check out before me and I don't have them here? I mean, that really could torment me, like, that I identified so strongly with that label, and I thought that's who I was, but really who I am is something much more broader, general, and beautifuler than even that. So anyways, who are you really? Who are you really without your mental labels and your identifying your identifiers, your what you claim to be. See, we say who we are as what we do, but we're not human doings, we're human beings. So it's like, it's not what you do that is who you are, it's what you be that is who you are. And a couple hours sitting on a back porch listening to the birds, feeling the breezes, really helps clue you in of that essence of who you really are. So that's actually what I just did yesterday. And it does reconnect you with the physical world, not in the fact that you're trying to make your ego presence known, right? Like, it is important. It is an act of power for me to make podcasts and for me to share my voice and for me to leave an impression, my mark on the world. That is an act of power, and it is important. But let it not disillusion me or confuse me as to who I really am. Okay, I am not my podcasts. I am not my dumb YouTube videos. I'm actually something much, much greater than that. And so are you. So Rosemary comes in with clarity and helps you to feel fully embodied and grounded, so that you can get in your body, so that you can get into your essence, into your place of power, so you can get into that state of existence. I am that I am, like you exist. You're the silent observer, the watcher, the witness. I mean, that is who you truly are, who just happens to do all these amazing things with your incarnation. You know what I mean? So anyways, love that. All right, so that's our first card, Rosemary with clarity. It's a beautiful rosemary plant. There is her beautiful light lilac-y purple flowers. They're sort of nuzzled in to the rosemary leaves. All right, so our next card is an essential oil card. It is the Queen, and she is also wearing violet with her cape and the top of her dress. She is a chess piece queen. So her dress goes swoopy and curvy down into the shape of the chess piece. This is a living chessboard, what I'm looking at. And she's magically suspending a rosemary flower above the palm of her hand. She's got light energy radiating from her crown. Her other arm is down to the side holding her cape. She's so dignified. She's so powerful. She is alpha wolf. Oh yes, this is alpha wolf energy right here. So Rosemary coming in for us today to start our week off here at Ho with a message of evolution and movement. So it's a living chessboard. So like, yeah, it's outside. There's grass growing. There is, what would that be? I don't actually play chess. But everybody looks alive is what I'm saying. You know, like they are chess pieces, but they're like animated and alive. And they're very cool. I can't remember like the names of everybody. Like that's a knight. I think that's a pawn. Would that be the king? He seems tiny for a king. Or is there something else? He's got like a little crossy thing on his head. Yeah, I don't know who the hell these people are. I think the king's way in the background. Yeah, that's the king. This must be... Is there a priest in chess? There's not a priest. Bishop? Yeah, it's coming back to me now. I have played before, like probably just to impress like a guy in college. But trust me, I wasn't there for the chess. Right? Oh gosh, the things that we do. Okay, so the Oracle of the Essence, Rosemary. This is the deck that came to me from Australia. So shout out to Monica, the priestess. the Enchantress, Monica the Enchantress. And this is just a fantastic, fantastic deck. Now, Rosemary, let's find it because she's going to teach us a little bit about rosemary oil. She's going to give us some wise words, a divination meaning, and an affirmation. Oh yeah, because I got to make affirmations. I'm like, what do I do here? You make affirmations, Sadie. You gather them. You gather them. So Leon C. Megason said, "It is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage change." Well, that's probably pretty good news for me. Right? You don't necessarily have to be the strongest or the most smartest in order to survive, but you really do have to manage change well. And so maybe that's why they went with the chessboard, because that's what people love about chess. Like, there's so many options, possibilities. You don't know where it's coming from, your attack is coming from. You got to be looking out. You got to have plan A, plan B, and plan C. My son Aiden, my chair is extra squeaky today. My son Aiden was telling me about, I think it's an online game. It's called 5D chess. And I was like, sounds awesome to me. We're ascending to the 5th dimension. And he's like, what? And and it's actually like multiple tiered chessboard. So it's like for people who have their evolution in chess is like, all right, they've been there, done that. Check out 5D, because now you can have it's I think 2 or 3 chessboards on top of each other. So it really has expanded the game. Being digital, it can do that. So anyways, chess, rosemary. Rosemary is the oil of transition, a transition based on knowledge. So sorry, why is my chair so extra squeaky? It brings understanding of a situation from deeper levels. So rosemary brings us this knowledge. It focuses on the root of the problem rather than just the surface of it. We can say that rosemary is a very clever essence, and it knows when to move, and it adjusts easily to its new environment. And that's what we need to do too, because it's don't just surface treat your bullshit. Get to the root of it, and really let's take care of it now, once and for all. So rosemary helps with feelings of being lost and confused, especially when there have been too many suppressed emotions and life gets a little overwhelming. So, maybe at some level you feel like you want to run away or just leave the present moment and not remember past experiences. Or perhaps you are tired of pushing against the current. I feel you, bro. I feel you. So this very powerful essence of rosemary, our beautiful herb of the week, assists with cognitive function. She really does wake me up. It can also be an amazing aid for Alzheimer's and memory issues. So if you do feel like you can't remember jack for shit, it's maybe let's get a little rosemary. You could get a fresh plant. You can buy them at Walmart. I could order one through Walmart pickup. And you just put a couple little of the leaves in your cup and add some water. Just a little bit of tea once a day might be good. Smelling the rosemary oil, putting it in your diffuser helps with memory. You don't have to put it on your skin. It might actually be too harsh for you anyways. Funnily enough, it also helps with scalp issues as well as assisting with luscious hair, repairing it from end to root. So you could make a strong tea and use a hair rinse. You could put a little rosemary oil in your scalp massage or your hair oil. I just rubbed it right on my hair. But you decide what's best for you. Rosemary is like an enchanted game of chess where the pieces take life and their transitions are friendly. It is not a battle, more of a game. No one is trying to kill the queen. We know that if we do, we will not be able to play any longer. They can see the big picture rather than just their small square. So yeah, it's like starting to look at the game of life and how to play it. What's up, Flossie? We'll be hanging out with you soon. Don't just try to kill the queen. I mean, oh wait, which queen are we talking about? Queen of England? Don't try to kill the queen or the game will be over. And then everyone is nice. They're kind of like bowing to the queen. She's like not afraid because she knows these little twerps aren't going to try to kill her, because then they all have to go sit on the benches and wait until tomorrow to play another game. So they really want to like hang out and have fun, transition smoothly, maybe even dance around the queen. Like that knight probably could get the queen where he's standing, but he's not. He's going to make a different decision just, to keep it as an enchanted game of chess and make the transitions friendly. So yeah, less of a battle, more of a game. Take that with you today. Less of a battle, more of a game. Rosemary comes to you when you need to evolve from the situation you are in into a better one. Changes are scary. No one's trying to argue with that. And sometimes we have so much resistance to change due to past experiences. It's like when the game of our life in the past really did seem more like a battle, we carry those battle wounds with us, and now we're like, damn it, like, do you remember what happened last time you tried to change your life? Or and it's like, okay, we need to evolve and step into better energy now. Don't let our fears and don't let our betrayals or whatever it was that scarred you in the past. It's time to move past the past now. And Rosemary's saying, there is nothing scarier than stagnation. So, and I've definitely had that experience, like, when your energy isn't moving, you can't think of anything you want to do. It's like, oh God, please send me a good project to get my energy flowing, because stagnation is just poison. It's just so depressing to be stagnant. Why? Because energy needs to move and flow. Just like a river, to be able to be clean, fresh, and support everything around it. So as you transition, you are fully supported and guided. All you need to do is focus on the bigger picture, assess your environment, and make your transitions friendly. So here's the affirmation from Rosemary. All of the changes in my life are positive and empowering. Every day, I am transforming myself into a more positive being. And I like that, because if I gave you the affirmation, I am a queen, you might not like totally buy into that, because it's like you really are, it's an evolution, right? Anyone else being annoyed by my chair? You might not believe that you're a queen, but you can certainly believe that every day you are transforming yourself into a more positive being. That you can say wholeheartedly and with 100% conviction. Every day I am transforming myself into a more positive being, right? And because of your change in attitude, because of your altering in your perception, you're blessing and baptizing everything as a success. That includes changes. So you can say all of the changes in my life are positive and empowering, right? Everyone is a golden link in the chain of my good. Everything is to my benefit. Everything is here to teach me lessons and help me grow and help me become empowered. And in that regard, I can start to look at everything as positive, as I'm well on my way in becoming the queen. I hope as a queen I get a better freaking chair. Wow. All right. When I am queen, my chair will be absolutely silent. All right. And then listen to me. I'll make my own noises. Sorry. So you guys, just so you know, so you can have some sympathy for my stomach. I woke up, talk about a detox. I drank lemon water right off the bat. And then I did make myself chug down a glass of celery juice, which was so blah. And now I'm drinking dandelion root. So yeah, that's why like my stomach's like, whoa. I ate a few dates and some pecans and a piece of zucchini brownie that I made actually. But I have this awesome recipe for zucchini brownies that I found on the internet, and there's no eggs. So I like that because I don't have any chickens anymore, and I just really I don't feel like buying eggs from the store ever. And I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to be eating eggs. Like in one way, I'm like, but they're the perfect food, and the chickens just pop them out of their butts, and hello, like why wouldn't we eat them? But then I did the medical medium diet for a while, and my body does pretty good without eggs. Feels pretty good, and then when I do eat an egg, like I don't know, super stank, that's for sure. And I don't know, but then sometimes I'm like, God, I want a fried egg. So I don't know how I feel about eggs. I guess if I don't have chickens, I'm just, anyways, no eggs in this brownie recipe. It uses like 2 cups of zucchini. So what I do is we always have like 4 cups of zucchini. Who only has 2, like, because when people give you zucchinis, man, it's like, dang. So we double the recipe, uses 4 cups of zucchini. And then instead of doubling the sugar, like, I think it's 1.5 cups of sugar. So like it would be 3 cups of sugar. We only do 2. So it's not too sweet. I mean, that is still a lot of sugar when you think about it. But it makes the chocolate zucchini bread. It says it's a brownie, but it's more like a bread because I cut down that sugar and I don't frost it or nothing like that. So they're kind of wholesome, I guess. So anyways, I had a little bit of that too. All right, moving on to more clarity. So this is our second clarity card. Clarity and Rosemary are big. I'm just like looking through the other cards and seeing if it says clarity again. No, we got Remembrance, and then we have a healer of air, the Curandura of air. Now this card, clarity, is coming with Rosemary, and that is the featured herb, but she's not hanging out alone. She has St. John's wort, thyme, ginger, echinacea, and chamomile, all coming in with the message of clarity in the Enchanted Spell Oracle. It's a medieval hedge witch magic by Priestess Moon, and she is gorgeous. Priestess Moon is gorgeous, and also the Priestess of Clarity is gorgeous. She's gorgeous. You're gorgeous. Everybody's gorgeous. But the Priestess of Clarity, so she has this red, turn around here, maybe I'll squeak less if I'm pointed this way. She has this red dress and Archangel Michael blue cape. And then her angel wings are fantastic with all this green, a little bit of blue, a little bit of red, white, green. Fantastic. And they're capped with some blue. And it's incredible, really incredible picture when you get lost in it. So this is all about focus, goals, and life purpose. So Rosemary, it's astringent, herbaceous. The astringent and herbaceous notes of rosemary help to encourage mental clarity and a sharp mind. So yeah, you don't want to overdo rosemary, but a little rosemary tea once a day could like, you think you're getting jacked up on coffee, like that's what's getting your brain going, but like if you could get off of the bean for a little bit, just try it out, and do some herbs like rosemary, to see if you can naturally stimulate your mental focus. I would say like rosemary and sage, but really all herbs, all herbs are good. But rosemary especially for clarity, for a sharp mind. Now, rosemary is often used in spells to aid successful study and excellent concentration. In 1649, the famous botanist and my boy Culpeper described rosemary as quick and piercing, and assured that a little goes a long way. And he was right. Nick was right. Rosemary revives, and helps our memory. It is refreshing, healing, and clean. On a metaphysical level, rosemary helps us to complete our spiritual responsibilities here on earth. So that goes back to our first card. Who are you really? What did you really come here to do? Really? Is it you being like the legal assistant? Is that really what you came here to do? Maybe if like you were drawn to law and maybe some people really are here to help the world be more righteous, really. But if you're doing something that like you just sort of stumbled into accounting or working at the fast food place, and there's nothing wrong with that, trust me. Like, I have many side gigs that whatever, cash is cash, but it's like, what did you really come here to do? So that's something for you to contemplate and meditate on. Like all right, so I do a lot of different things, okay? I've done a lot of different jobs. It's not really who I am. Like, there's a part of me that's more of my essence self. And what did that part of me come here to do? What are my spiritual responsibilities here on earth? Those are some questions that Rosemary wants you to ask of yourself. Now, the priestess of clarity stands confident and focused beneath a healing herb wheel. So gorgeous. The botanicals represented are rosemary, chamomile, echinacea, ginger, St. John's wort, and thyme. These herbs have stood the test of time as some of the most versatile and useful botanicals Mother Nature has provided us. Now, there's some medieval symbols for protection against self-doubt. They surround the priestess, and her wings symbolize that she is a spiritual as well as earthly being. The Scottish Gaelic words gleisbloth, which translate to wise flower, feature in this image. Yeah, she's gorgeous, and she's got wings because she's like in the earth but not of the earth, It's like she's not just a earthly being. She is an earthly being as well as a spiritual being. When the priestess of clarity appears, here's your divination. It is time for absolute focus. You may have a big undertaking ahead of you that needs your full attention. So break up your tasks into small, achievable goals. Write down every single step you need to take to accomplish your goal. So yeah, you take your big project, slice it up, chunk it up into doable steps. If you are easily distracted, the judicious use of a timer to allow yourself productive time and rest time throughout the day may help. That's so funny because I was thinking about the Fly Lady. Do you ever look up the Fly Lady house cleaning thing? I did like 10 years ago. She's been around forever. And that was her thing. Like, you go into a room and you set the timer for just 15 minutes and you clean for 15 minutes. And guess what? Because you're like undistracted and totally focused on what you're doing, you get a lot done. You pretty much get it done quickly, right? Because you're not dicking around. So anyways, try that with some of your other projects if you find yourself getting distracted. Just attempt 20 minutes of uninterrupted work or study, and then alternate with 20 minutes of unstructured me time. So it's like, if you really are just like, I cannot focus, do 20 minutes, focus, structure, work, and then literally just unstructured 20 minutes. But, to get yourself in the mindset and to appease your me time desire. But like, if you're really enjoying your work, then it gets easier to just keep on going, because like all your time is me time. When you enjoy your work and you're enjoying everything that you do, it's all me time, right? There's nothing but me time. So anyways, play with the times and see what works. You will be amazed at how much you can achieve with just these small amounts of focused time. Consider that each step toward your goal is a step toward fulfilling your life purpose here on earth. Now, I could really use that timer trick to finish up my podcast, time. Haha. Because I am really taking my time with time. Or maybe it's just time to quit doing podcasts that don't come easy to me. I mean, sure, yeah, everybody loves it over at Herbal Marie. But like, those mother truckers don't really love to support me, though. Do you know what I mean? So then it's like, it made me love a lot of my podcasts over there a lot less. So, I mean, I'll still do them because I think it's probably part of my life purpose and responsibility. But also, I have to also know that, like, if something really does feel like a struggle and I have to set a timer to do it, it might not be exactly part of my like full-blown passion anymore. See, that's the thing about me. I really think that the clarity that I want so much in my life is just knowing exactly what I want to be putting my time into. Like, I get my purpose so clearly. It's like, it's easy for me to put my focus on my projects because I love them. And they love me because it's just part of what I'm supposed to be doing here. So anyways, food for thought. Rosemary Posey. Here is harness the freshness of rosemary to make this little nosegay. This herbal posy aids clear thought and is the perfect study buddy to have at your desk while you work. So Rosemary is here like saying, she's like, yeah, but listen, sometimes there are things that we just need to get done. Or like, let's take this time podcast as an example. Oh, I could just not do it. But you can imagine how unsatisfied that would leave me feeling. So I really do want to finish it and get it done. And, fine, put the books on the shelf and forget about research for a little while if that's what I want to do. But it's like, there's a part of me that really just wants to finish it and get it done. So Rosemary's saying that she can help me focus. Now, I could gather 7 generous sprigs of rosemary and wash them well, tie them together in a small bouquet with a beautiful emerald green ribbon. Crush the leaves periodically to set free the herbaceous tang, stimulating your mind to release dull and puffy thoughts and allowing you to achieve your best. So whether you use the essential oil, you're just crushing the fresh plant, you're having a little bit of tea, chewing on a little leaf maybe, just to get the flavor in your mouth, using a hair rinse, putting rosemary essential oil in your aromatherapy diffuser, Let Rosemary allow and help you to achieve your best by ridding those puffy thoughts, right? Those distracting thoughts, and infusing you with clarity so that you can make your moves on your chessboard, your game of life, with precision and with focus, and evolve into a different kind of state of mind. I see Rosemary doing that for us as well. Like, okay, so we've just been like running at the hamster wheel trying to get things done, but it's like Rosemary's like, how about let's elevate into that 5D chessboard. That's next level shit for sure. You know, it's like you're managing 3 tiers of chessboards. 3 tiers. You're starting to really access into your multidimensional viewpoint, your perception. Our single-minded humanness, we get very tired, we get sluggish, we get distractive, puffy thoughts, right? Dull thoughts, because it's like we're just like kind of getting dulled down with doing all this mundane stuff. And Rosemary's like, yeah, and think about opening yourself enough to have clarity on a level that you never had before. So I feel like there's a little bit of that kind of message coming in too. All right, our next card is very sad looking. It's like a Mother Mary archetype, and she's looking up, crying. She looks so much like my little friend Kala, who just had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Kala. Something about her face reminds me of Kala. But this Mother Mary, she's got like the rosemary arced around her. She's got her light blue hair scarf, head wrap, whatever, on her. And she's got rosemary like as it's like an archway, you know? And then it's hanging all from her face too, but it looks fine. The way she did it, it looks fine. But yeah, there's rosemary surrounding her completely. She's crying and looking up. She's got these really intense rosemary green eyes, red lips, nose ring. There's a nose ring. So Rosemary here, this is the Botanic Whispers by Ferocious Ink. And she says she has a message of remembering, virginity, and mind. And she does have a second set of keywords, a little bit more on the negative side. Theft, forgetting, nightmares. So this is a very simple card. It comes with an affirmation. It is safe for me to remember even the most painful of memories, for there is knowledge to be gained from looking at the past. So as we move forward, it does at many times in our life serve us to remember all the experiences, all the lessons, all the blessings, all the dreams, all the nightmares, maybe even some things that were painful. They still could feel painful, but she's saying it is safe for you to remember even the most painful of memories. For now there is knowledge to be gained from looking at the past. And, sometimes, a lot of times with a painful memory, it's like, actually, like, you label it painful, and it was, because it was. That's why it's labeled painful. But actually, now that you're older and you're more distanced from it, it actually is not the same pain. And you can move away from it. You can move away from that pain now. You can rise above that pain and look at it. We can almost from a more detached viewpoint, look at the pain now and not be swallowed up by the nightmare that it was or by that experience. We're not currently, presently swallowed or nothing. We could tap into that frequency and feel it again if we want, if we need to. Maybe you do. But a lot of times this remembering that we can do in our mind now, it really is detached. And the beautiful thing about that is you can look at your painful experiences, your painful memory, and gain the knowledge. Look at it and see the lesson and see the purpose of it and see maybe why your soul agreed to that and see how it changed you now for the better. And it made you who you were. It influenced you for sure. And then you can kind of look and gain the knowledge and the lessons and all that experience, empathy, sympathy, all compassion. You have gained so much. And then it still is here now to teach you how to forgive and release. Right? So it's sort of like Rosemary is saying, it's safe for you to remember even the most painful of memories. There's knowledge to be gained from looking at the past. And then now we can, from a really good place, forget it. We'll never truly forget it because we got a lesson from it. But we don't have to keep it running as a program that's still with us. You know, it's like if you have too many programs running on your computer, that computer gets really slow. So you need to clarify your computer by shutting off some programs, deleting, getting rid of viruses, whatever. And that's what we do inside of ourselves too. So we'll gain more clarity once we deal with these old programs and memories. All right, so I'm going to put her down here at the bottom. So she's like looking up. She's looking up at clarity, at evolution, at movement. And our next little card, it's a little card. It's from the Illustrated Herbiary. There is a finger tied with a red string. Rosemary making a ring around the hand, as well as the string and the wind and some bluebird feet. And there is a message of remembrance. So I love that this finger is pointing upward. I'm trying to think how many cards where I need to put it up there. I kind of like it. I don't know. I kind of like it right there. It's to the right of the Clarity Priestess, but it's pointing up at something. And actually, our next card is also pointing too, but I won't jump ahead. So it's pointing now. Of course, it's pointing, but the whole like tying a string around a finger. That's an old-fashioned thing, and maybe kids these days don't even know what that means. But it's like if you really wanted to remember something, like you would tie a string around your finger so you wouldn't forget, right? I mean, it's even older than me. This whole string on the finger thing. It goes back. It goes way back. But this message, this beautiful Rosemary card, has a message of remembrance. All right, so we're on page 157 of this most awesome book. I love it. It's a hardback book. The Illustrated Herbiary by Maya Toll. 36 bewitching botanicals. Guidance and rituals. So Rosmarinus officinalis. Rosemary is the smell of deja vu. All I can smell is my dog's dog food. I got a big whiff of the dog food all of a sudden, which always smells like French fries to me. All right, anyways, rosemary is the smell of deja vu and the afterbreath of nostalgia. Her gift is the faint scent that teases and vanishes, leaving you longing for something you can't quite name, and with memories that crest and crash, pulling you gasping into their undertow. So in Victorian times, rosemary was said to remember me. It's the herb of remembrance. This is but a small part of her magic. Rosemary can ease remembrance, softening sharp edges, or she can dredge the distant past, pulling on your DNA to bring forward the longings of lineage. So Rosemary invites you to crush her leaves. Hold them to your nose. The past is encoded into our cellular memory. Rosemary whispers. Sink into the knowledge that lives in your bones. Let memory rise up from the body of your being. So doesn't this just take us back now to the first card? Who are you really? Remember who you truly are, right? Get into your bones. Let memory rise up from the body of your being. This knowledge that we have, are ancient memories. We have access to them. And so rosemary helps you get into your body, right? Reconnect with the physical world. And helps you feel fully embodied and grounded so that you can remember who you truly are. So I really hope that, at some point this week you do make, you have an opportunity or make an effort to connect with rosemary in some form or way. I mean, this is definitely one herb you want to smell. You don't want to just hear me talk about it. You want to smell some rosemary. Now the ritual is honoring your ancestral memory, and the reflection is you are made of memories. So Maya Toll says that rosemary's magic lies in her scent and her volatile oil hidden in her leaves. So even science is pretty up to speed and has affirmed that the smell of the essential oil of rosemary enhances memory. And here's how it works. When you inhale rosemary, her vaporous oils cross through the mucous membranes in your nose and enter your bloodstream. Recall is significantly improved with rosemary flowing in your veins. So good job, science, for observing that, but you really can't explain fucking magic, can you? What is it about rosemary that helps you remember? They might be able to isolate a few, chemicals and constitutes here and there, but, they'll never really be able to understand the magic of this existence. And for that, we let them go, because no. I love getting nerdy. Honey, I love getting nerdy like the best of them. But I also just really appreciate the fact that, plants are pure genius, and there's something going on here bigger than anyone realizes. And rosemary is just one of those beautiful goddess herbs who connects us in to that lineage, right? That ancient lineage of, our ancestors who did get it more than we get it. Oh my gosh. They were way more connected. So it's sort of like rosemary is a good herb for, us on our awakening journey as well. So yeah, crush the fresh leaves, rub a drop of the essential oil in your palms, make like a little nose tent. It'll take your breath away a little bit, so use your judgment of how much to inhale at once. Inhale for a few minutes, and then notice how you feel. Notice how you feel after smelling rosemary. So here's a ritual called Remembering Your Lineage, and you connect with your ancestral past through free writing. So you get a notebook, set a timer. Goodness, this timer is going to come in handy today. Set a timer for 10 minutes, and below is a prompt to start you writing. After you read it, begin writing, and don't stop until your timer goes off. So she says that she can almost guarantee that you'll feel silly or lost or confused for at least the first 3 minutes. You'll feel like you're making things up or that you don't know what to write, but just keep writing. At a certain point, your ego will step aside, and that is when the magic happens. So if you've got 10 minutes and you want to push pause, I'll give you the writing prompt, and then you just get your notebook and you write for 10 minutes. You keep writing straight for, that's a long time to keep writing. But she says at some point your ego that's like going to be like feeling silly or like you're just making this up. After about the first 3 minutes, at some point the ego is going to step aside and keep writing and see what comes through. So here's the writing prompt. And you could write this on the top of the page. Dear, and then you have to name an ancestor. If you don't want to put a name on it, you could just say Dear Ancestor, or you could use a specific name of an ancestor. Dear Ancestor, I am working to deepen my ancestral ties. Is there anything you'd like to share with me? Now start writing, answering in the voice of your ancestor. So you're posing this question and you're just going to free write. Do some free writing in your journal and see what your ancestor wants to tell you. Dear ancestor, I'm working to deepen my ancestral ties. Is there anything you'd like to share with me? All right. Did you push pause? Did you do some writing, or did you just go to the bathroom like I did? Hey, I love the writing prompt though, because I mean, I do this all the time, like with cards, you know, like ask, like I would be like, what do the ancestors want me to know? Then you could pull some cards. But this is like a more definitely, like I would say, very creative thing to do. I have done some automatic writing and open writings like this in the past. My handwriting is real sloppy, you know, so I'd rather talk or think than write. However, writing totally has its purpose in my life, and I think this is a great ritual to do with the free writing. Okay, so on that note, the reflection is called You Are Made of Memories, and Rosemary whispers the memories of this lifetime, but she also reminds us of the kitchens of generations past and the scent of camphor mixing with sea air. So Rosemary loves to grow by the sea. Our DNA has traveled through millennia. When we think of memory, we focus on the people we ourselves have known, grandparents, great aunts, cousins, twice removed. Our thoughts tend to be based on personalities, experiences, likes or dislikes. Rosemary, our beautiful herb of the week, asks us to travel beyond those associations to feel for the memory that lives in the twisting threads of our chromosomes. This is what it means to honor our ancestors and to be rooted in our own history. What if your bones are ancient bedrock and your laugh the wild wind? What if you are not only an individual, but the present incarnation in a long lineage? Remember. So yeah, there is much to remember. And I feel like, you know, it really does shine light and set our vision upon how much collectively we have fallen asleep. And, you know, how we seem to not have access to a lot of these memories. But I've heard from so many different angles that eventually more and more and more of them are going to be coming online, and we are going to be able to tap into our lineage of who we have been. And yeah, very interesting to think that like you are the present incarnation in a long lineage. So your chromosomes, your DNA, it's come a long way for you to be here right now. Barbara Kingsolver from Animal Dreams said, memory is a complicated thing, a relative to truth, but not its twin. So yeah, interesting, like how, like it's making me think about how like two people can totally remember the same thing or event differently. Like, really, is that how you remember grandma? Because I remember grandma being like this, and that, you know, like two people can remember the same thing or person or like completely different. So yeah, memory, it's a relative to truth, but it's not its twin. So it's like, I guess each truth is valid depending on how you remember it. So when you do your free writing, when you're asking your ancestor, hey, is there anything you'd like to share with me? I mean, that's like essentially your memory, and it is true for you. You know, like it's not like it is like has to be declared this is the way it is for everybody, but your personal guidance coming in from your lineage and your ancestors is 100% valid to you. So give yourself to remember who you are, remember who you have been, and yeah, bring in these ancient memories that are part of our lineage, our long lineage. All right. Curandura of Air is next. This is from the Herbal Tarot. This is another pointer. She's holding up, and it looks like her one finger is pointing. She's holding up a big old sprig of rosemary next to a ginormous rosemary bush. They don't grow like that in Pennsylvania. That's for dang sure. And she's got this tattoo on her forearm of feathers, like a wing. Like her arm is completely covered in this real faded old tattoo. But it's pretty cool. And there's some old rusty gardening tools hung up on the barnwood, the light barnwood behind her. And yeah, she's got a big old ring on her index finger that's pointing upward as she holds up, kind of like, I honor you. Like in a way she's like, I honor you, or she's offering it to the Father Sky to have a sniff. The Curandura of Air with Rosemary. So I love that, like, this deck, I never heard the word Curandura before. And when I was reading the book, finishing the book yesterday, Love and Power by Lynn V. Andrews, she totally used the word Curandura at the end of it to describe one of the wise healer teachers that she learned a valuable lesson from. And I'm like so proud of myself for recognizing the word. So Curandura of Air. And the Curanduras are the healers. They're all about wisdom, legacy, and counsel. And the herbs in this suit, or not suit, I don't know what you'd even call, the Curandura cards, they are definitely ancient herbs that have been used for centuries, particularly valuable for elder women, but useful for everybody. And the Curandura of Air is Rosemary. And she says she wants us to adopt a story and pass it on. With pen, song, or brush, tell your story. What is remembered lives. So this is just a perfect spinoff. Like writing down your stories is important, or painting them, or singing them, or I hopefully podcasting them is also important. Right? Who else is going to keep the stories going if we don't? You know, who else is going to keep the ancient wisdom going? It needs to be perpetuated on so many levels. So tell as many as you want. Adopt maybe a special story and pass it on. Tell your story. What is remembered lives. So that in such a huge way is herbalism, because it's like, okay, the ancient curanderas, the ancient healers, the ancient seers, the ancient witches, that's how healing and stories and wisdom was passed on through spoken word. That's how information went from generation to generation. Well, when them sons of guns, patriarch jerk faces were threatened by witches, they tried to, anyone who had any of this knowledge or who could produce healings, or it was deemed witchcraft, and they really did their best to kill off as many healers and witches and curanderas as they possibly could, right? So it's like herbalism in a lot of ways was stunted, right? That valuable information was lost in a lot of ways. And so it's like, I don't think that's going to happen again, although isn't the pharmaceutical industry the current patriarchal sons of guns? They really would love us to all just disappear and not promote natural healing remedies and not promote the plants, and not tell people that they can heal themselves for free. So in a lot of ways, we can never forget what happened to our ancestors. We can never let go of the memory of, perhaps you have this memory of what it was like to be a prosecuted witch, or to have to practice in secrecy. We'll never let this memory go, because we literally get tingles in our body and we feel it in our bones. We'll never let it go. We'll always remember. And that, to me, is important, because that reminds us today to keep talking, to keep writing, to keep sharing, to keep practicing, to keep living our craft, to keep connecting with the plants, because what is remembered lives. And so anytime you can tell just one story about healing, about the plants, about the ancestors, about wisdom, about knowledge, about connecting to Mother Earth, whatever your approach is, there's so many things that are important to pass on and share. Anytime you can tell your story, it's just such a benefit to humanity, but also an honoring to your ancestors. So there is a wild and unruly rosemary bush growing on the side of a garden shed, and the building's blue paint is weathered and in need of a fresh coat. Some of the rosemary branches are starting to produce small purple flowers. An old woman grips a bundle of fresh sprigs in her hand, her arm decorated with a faded wing tattoo. She offers it up to the sky. The curandera of air is calm and collected. She agrees with what Chogam Trungpa taught about spiritual materialism. Wisdom is not an ancient relic to be collected, but inspiration for new awareness. She knows the medicine of rosemary enhances cognitive function. Her mind is sharp and quick, but she talks very little. She understands that words have wings. So she speaks only when she has something meaningful to offer. She is a wonderful listener. She says, "Tell me more." People are drawn to her honesty. Just as rosemary clears the mind, her counsel brings clarity and inspires peace. So yeah, there is definitely, telling stories running out the mouth, but when you can open your mouth and realize that every word that comes out of your mouth is a spell, all your words have wings, you start to really want to offer up valuable things, right? Something meaningful to offer. So here's how to craft with the curandura of air. You can call a story circle. Make a rosemary crown to be worn by the storyteller. So maybe have an evening of telling stories. Would be fun. You can craft with the curandura of air by enhancing your memory. Add fresh rosemary to your cold water. So if you got some rosemary, just add a sprig to your cold water. Do a cold water infusion. That could be a gentle way to get a little rosemary in ya. A little bit goes a long way, like Nicholas Culpeper said, and enhance your memory. Also, this curandura of air also wants you to write. Inspire your writing. Begin your journal session with a rosemary palm inhalation. So yeah, you take out your rosemary, take off the lid of your oil, put just one drop in your palm of your hand. And, I did too, because it's real runny. Rub it in your palms and do a little inhalation with your nose tent. Don't touch it to your face if you have sensitive skin. So just keep it away. You can smell it. You can get close and still smell it. As I breathe it in my nose, I feel it in the back of my throat. It does. It wakes you up. It opens up your sinuses a little bit. Even I feel like it makes even my ears listen a little closer. It's a wonderful pick-me-up. And then just if you got any left on your hands, rub it in your hair. So anyways, before you journal and before you write and before you ask your ancestors, what do you have to share with me today? Maybe do this as a daily practice in the morning. And before you maybe study, it could help you wake up. I should do this like all the time in my middle of my podcasts because now I feel way more alert than I did just a second ago. And so let your ancestors bring you some memories. Let the rosemary remind you of what you need to remember today. Or let the rosemary help you, like I said, elevate you to have that chess player's mindset where you can start to look at things in a little bit of a different light. Okay, we've got 2 cards left if you've got a little more time to hang out with rosemary. We've got a witch's kitchen and a plant spirit oracle. So the witch's kitchen, there is the little black cat in the kitchen, of course. There's some rosemary massage oil. There's a rosemary hair tonic. Ooh, my favorite. There's rosemary potatoes. Rosemary on potatoes is so good. There's a little bit of rosemary tea. There's a big old rosemary plant and some dried rosemary. It's very busy. It's very, 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 very busy today in the witch's kitchen. And then we'll have our last card, which is the plant spirit oracle, and it is all about family, ancestors, and history. So there is a huge congruent message today with all the rosemary cards to connect with your ancestors, to connect with your memories. So rosemary with memories. Can I remember the alphabet? Delve into the distant past. Memories made, meant to last. I'll raise vibes from lethargy and purify your energy. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be. There, it is done. So Rosemary's guidance for us today. Echoes of your distant past sound all around when you find me growing nearby. Remembering those special moments remind you of who you have been and how far you have come. Messages from long ago evoke sweet recollections that play out as visions in your imagination and embrace your heart with warm feelings of memorable love. However, old memories that haunt your dreams and invade your thoughts remind you of the darker times you'd rather forget. Hold me in meditation or spend time with me in the kitchen, for my purification properties will dislodge the heavy and unpleasant energies that have been hanging around as of late. Use the cleansing smoke of my dried leaves or add a strong rosemary infusion to the bath to banish toxic vibes, for I am a powerful, energetic purifier. The magic of how you once felt will return as you transcend forward into your destiny. So she really does tie it all in. It's like tying in the past, remembering the good, remembering the not so good, integrating the lessons, and then helping us rise above and transcend forward into our destiny. Rosemary definitely comes with that message of movement. She doesn't want you to be stagnant in your walk down memory lane. She wants you to use it, and then she wants you to keep on going. So you can make a tonic for your healthy scalp or for hair loss. And here's a recipe. You take 4 stalks of fresh rosemary, you strip the leaves off, and you chop it pretty fine, chop it finely. You take a saucepan, you add 3 cups of water in with that rosemary that you got from the 4 stalks of the fresh rosemary, and you boil it for 30 minutes with the lid on. Then after you boil it for 30 minutes, you steep it for 30 minutes, and then you strain the mixture. You add 3 cups of your homemade apple cider and shake. Then you label it as a hair tonic. Now, if you wanted it to last longer, I would say use apple cider vinegar, but you could also just use some homemade apple cider for your hair. Apparently, that's what it says in this book. I think we should try it. I have some apples in the fridge that look pretty like they need used up. Maybe I should just juice them and call it apple cider and then put it on my head with some very strong and rosemary infusion. And see, the rosemary that's out in the garden that's looking super pathetic, today would really be a great day for me to use it up. Put some on some potatoes and then just harvest what is left for my head, for my hair, for, yeah, absolutely. I love the idea. All right, so rosemary is also known as the dew of the sea. It's associated with Aphrodite. In ancient times, rosemary was used to help stop nightmares. At Yule, rosemary is used with holly and mistletoe to decorate the home. It's believed to attract the fae and bring good luck. It was a sacred herb for both the ancient Egyptians and the Greeks. So as our lineage goes back, rosemary is right there with us the whole time. I was going to say the whole damn time. And then I was like, no, don't say that. And I was like, the whole stinking time. And I was like, no, don't say that. The whole damn stinking time. Rosemary has been with us the whole stinking damn time. So anyways, our last card here is this incredible looking, beautiful card. It's like a three-pointed star, and there's the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And then there's this, it's laid on this spiral, these petals with these people are laid on this spiral of rosemary, like totally a decoration that you would see. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. There's a spiral in the center of the maiden, mother, and crone as well. And that's why the key words with this card from the Plant Spirit Oracle by Dana O'Driscoll is the keywords are ancestors, family, and history. So in Shakespeare even used a rosemary reference in his famous play Hamlet. Ophelia, Hamlet's love interest, said, "There's rosemary for remembrance." Ophelia is referring to the then common cultural tradition of using rosemary sprigs for the recently departed. By placing the rosemary sprigs on their bodies or in their graves. Rosemary has long been associated with the need to remember those who have gone, tying it directly to working with our ancestors and holding them in our memory. So if you do live by the sea, rosemary can be a long-lived perennial if you are lucky enough to live in a warmer climate. Although around these parts, it's just grown as an annual and really not impressive. So never for me before. But I mean, I've seen some people have the rosemary touch, but not yet for me. It's easy to identify. It's got pine needle-like leaves, although it has no cold tolerance whatsoever. It's got woody stems and a very distinctive aroma. And like legit, you can buy it in the grocery section now of most grocery stores. During the holidays, sometimes you'll be able to find a nice size rosemary that's shaped into like an evergreen shape. I always think those are so cool to bring into your house for the holiday season as a decoration that will just dry out and die. But nonetheless, if you pet it every day, you could get your money's worth by smelling it. All right, but you could grow it in a pot on the patio, indoors, and yeah, in warmer climates, it grows wild. So on this Plant Spirit Oracle card, it is depicted as a wreath with the three archetypes of the maiden, mother, and crone. And these three archetypes represent the different stages of life and growth. The maiden plants the seeds. The mother helps nurture the plant, and the crone cuts the plant for harvest. All three of these are tied to the meanings of this card, which are ancestors, family, and history. So yeah, just real quick, It has been used since ancient times, rosemary. It does boost the memory, particularly as a tea. It has been long used as a hair wash. You could actually put the rosemary in vinegar itself and steep it. Rosemary has been used as a hair wash, steeped in vinegar to cover gray hair and strengthen the hair and roots. It's also very useful for poor circulation and overall cardiovascular system support. Finally, rosemary has been useful in helping to improve one's mood. So definitely get some rosemary in you. You could make a smudge stick honoring the ancestors' smudge stick. You can make a smoke stick by gathering some fresh or dried rosemary, some sage, either garden sage or white sage, and some needles from spruce, white pine, or white cedar. And you cut them about 6 inches in length. And then if some are smaller, just put them on the inside of the bundle. You lay the needles out first, then the sage and rosemary on top. Use a natural cotton string and you bundle the herbs together. So tightly, but not too tight, because you want some airflow in between them. And then you let that dry for a month. And then this smoke stick, this smudge stick, It's your honoring the ancestors smoke smudge stick. You can use it for your ancestor work or a smoke blessing. That would smell amazing with the pine, the rosemary, the sage. Oh my gosh, yes. Absolutely. A big old yes to that. So let's talk about the ancestors. In this card, we see the cycle of generations and the need to remember. So consider what your ancestors play in your present and consider their wisdom. Like, what do you need to remember, right? Consider things not just in the moment now, but from a generational perspective. Consider how past generations of family would have done things and how we might make good decisions for our future descendants. So we are thinking about connecting with our ancestors right now. But think about this. Someday, your future generations will want to connect with you. You're going to be the ancestor. So how are your decisions affecting them now? Consider that. Consider the impact that you are making. And so it's like, oh my gosh, like, what can I do to help future generations? As you tell your stories and you write down all your herbal notes, and you know, whether you publish a book or not, you make a book every time you write. Whether anyone ever reads it now or not, you can leave that as a legacy. Your blogs, your Instagram pages, you are passing on information. So how can you continue to make good decisions for your future descendants? Because someday, honey, you're going to be the ancestor. Family. So this card indicates a message about family members, relationships, experiences, connections, custom, lore, heritage. So we want to consider our families, the roles that they play in our life, how the roles we play in our families. If you're doing an oracle reading, you know, this might indicate that your family is the topic or the issue, or maybe your family, your supportive family, will help you overcome anything that's going on in your life. So it's a beautiful, beautiful card about support and connection. And history. Rosemary asks us to remember and learn from past history. That might mean looking back on your own past actions, your own history, maybe that of your family, others around you, of your culture. But the message may be about something tied to the past or to a larger issue with history. Those who fail to remember history are bound to repeat it. This statement is part of the message Rosemary sends. Like, I like history, but I don't. I'm not big on regurgitating his story that the patriarchs want. Like, in the history books, it's like, dude, some of that's just straight up bullshit and lies. So maybe it's like her story, right? Her story. What's our her story? H-E-R instead of H-I-S. You know, what is the what we need to remember so we don't repeat it? Is that because we regurgitate it and make a point of memorizing it, or is it that we need to learn the lessons and the message? Like, I don't think we need to study wars and perpetuate that vibration, but of course we need to learn that war is not good. War kills people. There are no winners in war, because we don't want to keep relearning that. So it's like, it's not, I don't think you need to memorize the dates and learn all the graphic details, but you best learn that you don't want to repeat that bullshit again. Yeah. On that note. This affirmation minute is brought to you by our beautiful herb of the week, Rosemary, and I dedicate them all to you. Thank you so very much. I remember who I truly am. Clarity awakens me. I connect with my ancestors and learn the lessons from their history. It is safe for me to look at my memories and gain the knowledge from looking at the past. I move forward in my evolution. I pass on my valuable wisdom to future generations. I remember who I truly am. Clarity awakens me. I connect with my ancestors and learn the lessons from their history. It is safe for me to look at my memories and gain the knowledge from looking at the past. I move forward in my evolution. I pass on my valuable wisdom to future generations. And so it is. All right, thanks so much for hanging out with me and Rosemary, our herb of the week. I was just up doing a few exercises that I talked about today on my new morning show, Hacked, over on my YouTube channel. You're invited to come hang out with me there. We talked about some exercises to do today. So I just was doing a few of them. Not all of them, a few of them. So anyways, thank you, Rosemary. Thanks for helping us remember, or prompting us to remember who we truly are. Thanks for bringing in clarity, evolution, movement, memories, family, ancestors, history, some healing, some curandura of air. I mean, so many beautiful messages today. Definitely the one message to connect with the ancestors. That was so big. But you know what? There's a reason for it. And there is so much knowledge to be gained by connecting in with that energy. So I do hope that today or this week or sometime soon, you accept the invitation and you invite the ancestors into your life too by asking, what would you like me to know? Right? What would you like me to know? And then, feel this. Then you listen and you feel it in your bones and you know it in your heart and you start to hear the words and maybe creatively write the words and you start living that truth, because it's not like you just showed up today. Oh, your energy has been here before and you are coming from a long lineage of beautiful beings. So tap into that energy. You are not alone and you have much to offer the world. So keep it going and make sure that you are doing your part, what you came here to do with your personal evolution. Keep the energy flowing. Make your connection with the physical world. Get grounded and remember who you truly are.